So I got I'm on number 2.
Okay.
That's smart.
I think number 2 is right in the middle. You could have went number 3. You could have went with number 1, and you're playing it safe with number 2.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Who does number 2 work for?
Oh, I'm so happy.
Who does number 2 work for?
That was the Lucky Charm guy, right?
Nope. That was
Yeah, he was the guy. The Irishman came out of the bathroom stall.
Yeah,
and
the guy
Austin
getting
Powers
choked.
Is
I think
him.
number 2 was the guy with the eye patch.
Number 2, right? Flowing.
I guess I gotta say his line, don't I? Son of a bitch.
What does he say?
Back again like we never left.
I see. I'm right here.
Coke and Whippet.
Ah,
Whippet
hey.
and Coke. It's the Lethal Weapons.
I'm so happy to be here, buddy. Rocking with you.
That's right. Dank's out today. He's in Costa Perdita.
Mm.
That's the joke because the Dawn of X.
Yeah.
Are you reading any of the X-Men stuff?
I have it ready, downloaded, ready to go. The problem is Marvel Unlimited only has one issue.
Oh yeah, you're in the
on
Marvel
each
Unlimited
side.
stuff. Yeah.
I know. Well, now that I've
get the hard copies.
Different. Now I'll be buying the hard copies quick.
Spend $100 a month.
Yeah.
And get the hard copies.
The problem is the hard copies fill up $100 a month of real estate.
No, but anyways, there's villains there that are from this place called Costa Perdita.
Mm-hmm.
We can't remember the guy's name. We just call him Goldbeard.
Okay.
But it's like cartels and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's where he is now, in Costa Perdita.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not really, but he is.
Oh
Costa
yeah.
Perdita. He's actually in Greenland. No, it's Costa. My good buddy Whippet.
Yo, buddy, I'm so happy to be here with you.
You're I guess you remember Lethal Weapons.
Yeah, I know the deal.
Yeah, Lethal Weapons.
Yeah.
Lethal Weapons. Hey Whippet.
Hey, Coke. There was not even any practice of that. That was just ready to
I
go.
want to see you go.
Okay.
Hey Whippet.
Hey. I sound like Harry Carey. What's
Hey.
up, Coke?
What do you call the Nintendo Wii in France?
Oh my.
A Nintendo Yes.
Ah, I get it.
It's Wii.
Yeah. We. And I was gonna say no.
No with Nintendo. No.
No.
We're doing comic books based on video games today.
Yes, sir.
Move this one up just for you.
Okay, I'm here. My wife is going to be pretty happy about this because I spent a lot of time playing my video games and finally get to put it to some good use.
Yeah, you and I are avid video gamers.
Yeah. Avid, absolutely.
I like stuff like, The Witcher and Infamous and stuff, and you like Minecraft.
I like Minecraft and Overcooked.
No,
that's all I've been playing.
Overcooked is fun, man.
Actually,
Overcooked
is really
fucking fun. Don't shit on Overcooked. If you got friends, it's fun.
Yeah, Super Mario on you remember the Wii one where it was finally 4 players and you can all play together and
That's awesome.
And you can jump on each other's head and screw each other up like real good. Yeah, that was Divorce. Now we're calling this Overcooked Divorce now. That was like our first version of that. I played with my wife, so that was what
Does she actually play games with you?
She actually does. Yeah. Only those 2 right now. Super Mario and Overcooked. Good? No. I mean, yes, she's really good. She's really good at Dr. Mario, if anything.
I love that soundtrack.
Yeah.
By the way. Yeah. There's a new Dr. Mario, isn't there?
I believe there is on your cell phone.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, neither do I. Anyway, beat it.
Neither do I. Well, yeah, so video game. So before I sent you a list.
Yes.
I sent you a list of games. There was about 10 on it, 3, 4, 5,
which
6,
I
7,
ignored.
8, and you just ignored it. Yeah.
Sorry.
So
I went AWOL.
Talking to you yesterday, I was like, "Oh yeah, did you get a list? Oh yeah, I got this, and this." I'm like, "Those weren't on it."
Those weren't on the list of what you wanted me to read. I was confused, and oh yeah, I went Rambo.
Yeah, you did. You motherfucker.
And you're jealous because I read some good ones too.
Yeah, I'm jealous because I wanted to save a couple for some other time. I know this one in particular.
Yes.
We're going to be doing episodes on.
Okay.
Later down the road.
Yep.
Because fucking Dank loves it.
Oh, okay.
He discovered it. He just discovered it like when did we? Just a couple weeks. No, maybe a couple weeks ago. And he's like, this is fucking awesome. When we were doing, when we did our death days.
Yes.
I don't know if you heard that episode. We did the 12 death days of Christmas.
Okay.
And then one of them, someone dies, and he's like, "This is fucking badass."
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's pretty good.
You gotta check this out.
Yeah. So
what do you mean?
I'm like, yeah, well, it continues off the game, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about Injustice. In case, just. I didn't read any of this, but this one wasn't on the list, like I said, because I wanted to keep it for something else. But
I've read it.
Whippet went ahead and.
My bad.
How much of it did you read?
I went back and read the first 5 issues.
And how was it?
It's really good. And
I read them, but I think it was like when did they come in? 2011, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, so I read it like 2012ish.
Yep. I played the game, Injustice: Gods Among Us, and then as soon as I played it, I guess they marketed it this way. We were at our local comic shop, me and you, when we were doing our.
We got back into it. So I've mentioned on here that I got back into comics around 2012, and it was with you.
That's right.
And we went crazy.
We went
the Marvel Now shit.
I think between both of us, we had 20 books sitting on our pull list.
We did, and most of it's funny because it started out as Marvel, because it was the Marvel Now that got us in, and then New 52 had just started about a year before, so we're like, this is fucking awesome. But because of all that, I got into Image really hard, like within the next year and stuff, and my pull evolved from like 80% Marvel to like 20% Marvel, and more so like indie stuff like IDW and Image and shit.
For me, it was like Marvel, and then when Disney bought Star Wars, it was like Marvel,
that's right. Yeah, that's
70%
right.
Marvel, and then 90% Star Wars and 10% Marvel. But I went off.
What was it, like a 3-year run where we were there every
week? We had a little weekly thing going on. We got to know the cast of characters at that shop. That's for sure.
We got to talk. Oh man,
the weirdest comic guy episode.
I can't talk. Yeah. Oh my god, I can't talk about this with Dank because he wasn't at that shop, but it was like. The guys who ran it were
we just call one guy Harlan?
Eccentric.
And talk about this guy for 1 second?
Harlan.
You just go in with the biggest smile on his face just to see someone in a store, I think, or he was working for everybody. Weird. Yeah, and he was just always...
moody as fuck.
Yeah, moody.
Didn't he get into an argument about... Okay, was it him that got into an argument with one of the patrons there, or one of the guys there, about whether Boba Fett was...
Oh, man.
Because he's garbage. Yeah. Boba Fett's garbage.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, he's really cool, but he dies like a bitch. And one of them was like, no, he's awesome. I was like, dude, was it Harlan that was fighting? Arguing for him?
Harlan was steaming out of his ears. And I think Boba he was Fett talking about how badass he was.
He's not.
He's not. Mr. Trips a lot. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Anyways, back to it. So Injustice.
Yes.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. I cut you off, but
just as a whole.
Yeah. Don't talk about details. Just
quick summary.
It's kind of a cheat too because it's a book based on a game that's based on comic book characters. So it's kind of like
it's such a weird realm of what they did for that. You've got a Wicked game, by the way, and that was kind of like going off of Mortal Kombat's leap to having stories, a plot line coming along, and then something happens, and now fight it out. You play the fight, and then you come back into the story. Right where the fight leads off, they just send you more plot. Off you go to the next thing. And they did it really well with Injustice. And the storyline is basically Superman goes bad. And I don't know if you've read I think you've read Red Sun, right?
Yeah.
And just the whole idea of changing, his goody two-shoes attitude and putting it on a damper. Because Superman... What do you think of Superman?
He's not my favorite by any means.
That's right.
I don't love him, but I will defend him because I think he's a very, he's like the prototypical superhero, right? And when writers that can handle him, tackle him, are able to, he has fantastic stories.
Yeah.
Like Red Sun.
Yeah.
I like Superman versus Elite as well, versus the Elite, things like that. But you have to know how to write him. He's like I compare him and the Hulk the same as very difficult characters to write.
Oh yeah,
because you can write stories about it and it's just like, oh, he can do anything. So that's not the point. So Superman's cool.
Yep.
He's okay. He's probably not my top 10.
No, I think Superman is. And
I used to hate him. Like I used to be like,
I remember. Yeah.
I was the same way. I was like, fuck, he sucks. Same with Thor, right? I was like, these guys are like, they're lame, man. They can do anything. But then when you read something where a writer can handle or understands the character well, it's like, oh, this guy's not that bad actually. He's pretty cool. Like when you use him properly. So yeah, I don't mind him.
I think he's cool, and just answering the question, it's like he's invincible. How do you write for this guy? And I think to change up the game of what his goal is, and if you take away that scout, Boy Scout personality and put this to, guys, I'm sick of losing all the time and being the strongest guy ever. Especially, this is kind of a spoiler of the first issue.
That's fine. Spoiler away. This shit's like,
and Lois Lane dies, and
this shit
and
came
Joker.
out. This shit came out in 2013. Spoiler away.
Okay, yeah, no problem. So Joker kills Lois Lane, and this sends Superman off on, I'm gonna fix the world, and man, does he ever just team up with a really cool cast of characters. Batman's watching this whole thing go down and saying no, and now it's making Civil War essentially happen for the Justice League and the DC universe, and I think it was just handled so well.
Which is why I think it works too, is that because it's an alt universe story. Mm-hmm. So when Tom Taylor and Jeremy Rappak did this, like Tom Taylor this is kind of what put him on the map, was these books, because it went like year 1, year 2, year 3, and there was some spin-offs. Like it really took off because death meant something in this. Like people died, they died. Yeah. And it was like you're saying, alt versions of everybody else, but it was. Yeah. I think obviously because of the background of the game, there was a bit of no from anybody who was reading the game that went into the comics. Like, okay, this is carrying on, so I understand the basis of these characters in this universe. But yeah, it worked. Tom Taylor did a great job. Said it made him. Death stuck, and I think that's part of what made it special, is that it had the foundation.
I think one of the coolest parts in that whole series is Lex Luthor is needed. And he's good. Because Bruce is using it. I guess good, and depending on what side you're on this whole thing. But I think Bruce using Lex Luthor, because he's the only guy that really understands Superman as well as everybody else, is, they use him for his weapons and stuff. And I just think that's so cool, seeing Lex Luthor teaming up with Batman. That's crazy.
Yeah. And it works in this universe because it's like I said, spin-off of the regular one. Moving on to Infamous. I don't know. Now, Infamous is, in case you don't know, one of my favorite games of all. Like, I love that.
You got me on this game.
Yeah. Did I put you on? Okay.
100%.
Infamous 1 is really good. Infamous 2 was incredible. That's what these books are based on. These are the PS3 era.
You talked me into buying my PlayStation.
I did,
because of all the games you were talking about.
Yeah, I remember that, because you're an Xbox guy.
And I had Xbox because of Halo, and absolutely. And
I wasn't gonna say that, but yeah.
Oh no,
I talked you into it. That's right.
You did, 100%. And Infamous was the first game you said on your list of games of why I should buy a PlayStation.
I fucking loved it. I was like, what is this? Yeah. What is this game? In the game, you're a guy named Cole McGrath, and you are a conduit. And a conduit is somebody who basically has superpowers, or has the potential to gain superpowers when they're unlocked by a certain chemical reaction from the ray sphere in this instance. And he gains the power of electricity, so he basically becomes Electro. Yeah. Which is awesome.
Totally cool.
And it's because it's a fresh new start. It's like the video game was written, like the cinematics were written as comic books, so that was kind of cool already. So it was almost like, all right, this is so easy to transition into a comic book. Let's do that. And that's what they did. Excuse me. In between the first two games. So Infamous 1 and Infamous 2 have a filler in between, which is the Infamous comic, published by DC, which is crazy. In 2011, written by William Harms and drawn by Eric Nguyen.
He's a good artist.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. And it was good. It was like the books. If you don't know the game, you're good. There's a lot of terminology like ray spheres and conduits and shit that you're not gonna.
Just basically Rubik's cubes.
You kind of got to know the game, and it takes place, like I said, between the two games, and it details how Cole gets from Empire City, which is a spin-off of New York, to New Moray, which is a spin-off of New Orleans, and there's the two settings for the two games. It fleshes out some characters like Moya, the Zeke Cole relationship, because they have a falling out. If you haven't played the first game, Zeke is his best friend who betrays him and ends up. His girlfriend ends up dying because of the betrayal. So it kind of fleshes out that. There's some awkward moments of silence and
bro code, bro.
Things like that. Which is kind of cool. They flesh out Kessler, and there's a new character named David who's he's a security guard. This is really interesting. David was a security guard who was in debt, and he lent himself to Kessler, who was the main antagonist in the first Infamous. I don't know if you remember him. He was Cole from the future. which it turned out to be.
Mm-hmm.
Spoilers. He allowed himself to be experimented on by Kessler over 30 times. So he just kept unlocking new powers. So he was like power stacked. He grew like extra arms, kind of like Spider-Man. He had four arms, and he was all these powers stacked. It was crazy. He had
He's the Sony Deadpool.
No, you're right. Yeah, no, you're fucking right. That's exactly what it was. Only he wasn't quippy.
Yeah.
And because he assumed that Cole was Kessler, he had this vendetta against him and went bonkers. And technically he is. Yeah. It's just an alt universe. And it gets weird. This is why if you read the book without playing the games, you'd be like, what the fuck is going on? It's good. It's a little bit all over the place. There's plenty of time jumps, so it's kind of like, what the fuck? It was okay. It was 6 issues long. Not necessary reading unless you really, really love Infamous. But
I find, we'll probably talk about more of this later, that a lot of these comic book video games stories are all like, you like the game, you got to know the game and read the book.
A lot of them, not all of them. There's a couple on here that you didn't really need, but most of them it's like, because that's what they are, right? They're promotional tools for sequels or just fillers for people that love the fucking game, right? Moving on to Mercenaries. I don't know if you ever played the Mercenary games.
You know what? This is one game I never played.
Okay, so there was 2 games for Mercenaries. Really 4. The PS2, I think. I have to look that up. But they were kind of like what they were meant to be. Were wait for the Xbox. What they were meant to be were kind of like military GTAs. Mm-hmm. And you were in somewhere in, I think, Bolivia or something like that, and it wasn't Bolivia. It was PS2. PS2 and Xbox. It's always Bolivia. Yeah, PS2. I'm just thinking of like Wildlands.
Yeah, no, we were just talking about Wildlands.
But it's like an action adventure game. I think 05, season 5.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. So you chose a mercenary, and then because it was like a military base, it was in Korea. There was like South Korea, North Korea. Yep. There was the Alliance, and I think there was another faction too, like China. And there was, you kind of, depending on what you did for jobs, some factions would start to like you, and some factions would not like you.
Okay, cool.
Depending on how you did the jobs. So if you did all these jobs for like South Korea, South Korea, you could drive other South Korean soldiers, and they'd be fine with you. But then like North Korean soldiers would be all over you and trying to shoot you down and stuff like that. And you had to kill all these, you had all these marks, and they were marked out as like cards. Yeah. So there's the Ace of Spades. Okay. That was the leader of that group, and there's like the Queen, King, and all the Jacks and stuff like that. So it was actually a lot of fun. I loved the first game. Nice. I don't remember much of it because it was 15 years ago, but
open world.
Yeah, open world.
Oh, that's cool.
And military, it's like military bases and stuff.
Who's made this one?
It was
Zero Engine. LucasArts.
Pandemic, yeah.
Pandemic and LucasArts. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it was an EA game. It was really fun. I have it still over there. I'm pointing still my PS2 over there. Yeah. I got PS1, PS2, all. Anyways, and PS3 all in a row.
We're in the laboratory here, folks.
It was the lab, but it was really good. And this book is not necessary reading. It was only 3 issues long. Like Infamous. It just fills in the gap between the first and second game. Mm-hmm. It's written by Dynamite. And it came out in 2007. So it came out after the first game, obviously. Written by Brian Reed, drawn by Edgar Salazar and Michael Turner. Yeah. And basically it was like the handler of the 3 mercenaries in this book is kidnapped by like evil Chinese officials. And they want the trio to work. He wants the trio to work for them and like do his dirty work. And the 3 of them all have different views. One's like, okay, I'll do it. Yeah. The other one's like, fuck you, I'm fighting you. And the third one was like, we'll see where this goes. And basically, that was a ploy to kind of get information on both sides of how it was going down. And
on both of the Koreas.
Yeah, and they did China. It was
sorry.
I was Trump say China. It was a Chinese official. The Chinese official.
What do you say? Cider.
China. Look at the China. You seen that picture of him where he got his hair's like blown back and he has the. Did you see that? Oh fuck! It's good. I'm gonna pull it up. His fake tan line, this one here.
Oh my word. The cats. Yeah. Someone spray painted him as a cat's character on his face, giving him a tiger face. That's hilarious.
Yeah, anyways, I can't find it. But anyways, yeah, so the fake tan, you can see that.
He's aged, eh?
He's something else. Mercenaries, don't read it. It's not great.
Not great.
It's 3 issues. It's whatever.
If you were a huge
one thing
fan, it's still okay.
Massive. What was funny is that it's such a fucking like action comic. So the 3 of them, or one's Mercenaries captured. So the 2 of them come up to this Chinese base, to get their friend out, and it's such an action comic that it's like full frontal fucking assault, and not one of them gets nicked by any bullet. They're just going. It's like Commando 2. It's like I'm like, this is stupid.
Okay, just off the rails.
Yeah, it's off the rails. Moving on to how about one of yours? What about that Mass Effect?
Okay, so
you came out with this one wasn't on the list.
This wasn't,
and I'm sick of talking, so I want you to talk about this. So I didn't even know Mass Effect had comics.
Mass Effect,
so I'm not surprised it does.
I think after Mass Effect 1, if anyone's played Mass Effect 1, the world they set out to do and the clues and what's happening, and the Reapers and all this stuff, which is this cybernetic alien force that is just waiting to reset the universe. So there's like 8 or 9 different types of stories, and all the stories based off the characters that you're going to meet in Mass Effect 2. So this is a lot of the ones I've read are all the Mass Effect 2 tie-in ones. To me, that was my favorite game out of the whole series.
You didn't like 3?
I liked
3's fine.
The combat of 3 was good. I think I played Mass Effect 2 I think 3 times. Like I did the Paragon, I did the Renegade.
I gotta go back and do it again.
And I bought the trilogy, and it's a solid trilogy.
I got it down here too. You were saying I got you on the PlayStation. You got me into Mass Effect.
Okay.
Because I remember I played Mass Effect 2 demo, and I was like, this is garbage.
Yeah, totally.
I know, and you're like, are you kidding? It's one of my favorite games ever. I was like, no, this demo sucks. Demo sucked.
It's really good.
Yeah. But I got into it, and I was like, fine. So I actually the real game, and the demo does not do the game justice. It's like, I don't know what was different. I don't know. The demo, I was not into it whatsoever.
Yeah.
But the demo with the Mass Effect's awesome. And then I went and got the trilogy. I played the first one because I didn't have it. I played 2 and 3, right? Because they were the ones on PlayStation. And then I went back and got 1 and played through it. And I was like, I'm going to play through 2 and 3, and then I got my PS4. So it's like, so I haven't got back to that, but I need to.
Oh yeah, you should.
All of that yapping was about, I got to go back.
I got to go play. And did you play Andromeda?
No, you told me not to.
Don't.
You told me not to.
100% don't.
Yeah, you're like, don't play that.
It's so bad.
It's funny because my brother was like, yeah, it's fun.
Okay,
now,
maybe you're...
I'm not playing it. I'm not doing it now. I'm not doing it. You like everything.
I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle it.
Whippet likes everything.
Yeah.
And he told me not to play this game.
No.
He doesn't like it. I'm like, well, it must be fucking terrible. Because you like everything.
Mass Effect 3 looks better.
Wow.
And this is on a new generation.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Console. But if any, the whole style of the game is, it's a band of heroes. They're all in a spaceship trying to save the universe. And there's lots of great interactions of characters, lots of choice that you have to make.
This is Andromeda or the book?
This is the whole Mass Effect series.
Oh, okay.
The Mass Effect trilogy, just throughout the game, that's basically what it is. And there's lots of cool combat. There's powers, there's biotics. If you like the Force, it's kind of like that. They can lift things and push things and pull people. And you got the tech guys who can throw fire and electricity. Anyway, the book I read was Redemption. And Redemption has to do with Liara. And I really like Liara's character. She's
she's the hot blue one.
She's the blue skinned one. Yeah, let's just call her the blue.
She's the hot blue one. Everybody likes Liara.
Yeah. Diversify, yo. And basically, she becomes this black market dealer called the Shadow Broker.
Oh, is that what this is on? Is this about the Shadow Broker?
This is like how she became, and the stuff that you don't see in the game. She is the Shadow Broker. There's a mission you do to help her.
Yeah, it's a DLC.
It's about her. Yeah, it's a DLC mission, and then it kind of goes into that, and it also goes into Kel, which is the green or Thane's son.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, before you continue, one point about the Shadow Broker thing. I remember when I got my copy, I had the DLC with it.
Yeah. I
believe. And they don't tell you what mission is our DLC and whatnot. So when I got to the point of that, it's like, oh, Shadow Broker mission. I remember looking at it like it was like I was gonna go to bed.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I remember this vividly. I was like, I'll just do one more mission. And I fucking did the Shadow Broker one, not knowing that it was like I was like, okay, I'll just go here. And I can't remember how it started, but I was like, just go here and talk. I was like, okay. It's like, well, this is getting pretty big. This is like really dragging on. And then it's like a 3-hour mission.
Yeah.
So I did the whole thing, and I was like, the fuck? This one, and it got so epic. I was like, what is this? And then I realized that it was DLC. So I was up really late that night.
To play that. Oh, man. Yeah, it's really good. It's kind of it just gives you more of the universe and spending time with a character that's not your own. And I think that's what's really cool about these. The whole Mass Effect series, a lot of these books, it's like you're spending time with Garrus, you're spending time with Liara, you're spending time with people that you don't get to really see their side of the story. And a lot of it has to do with their side. When you're off doing and shooting, it might be like, he goes from here to here, let's watch this part. And or let's read about the story of how he ends up in this spot in the mission. I don't want to spoil too much of it, so I'm kind of being vague, but
you can spoil all you want, man. We know.
I guess
like,
no one wants. I don't want to ruin Mass Effect 2. It's that good.
Oh, Mass Effect 2. It's fine. You can spoil the Shadow Broker mission. Anyways, yeah. So Dark Horse Comics.
Mm-hmm.
Got a couple writers here: John Jackson Miller and Mac Walters.
Yep.
Omar Francia on the art.
Yeah, art's great. Book's great.
Yeah, and you're a big Mass Effect guy, so you're bigger than me.
100%. I like this book a lot. This is my favorite one, I think, out of all the
really?
stories too. Yeah. Invasion's cool too, but
were they all? Now I'm looking at it right. I'm looking at all the different. There's like 2, 4, 6. There's about 8 or 9 or 10 different. Are these? Do you know if they're all miniseries or are there any ongoing?
They're all miniseries.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's good.
Foundation is about. I can't remember her name now. Anyway, but it's about one of the girls, who's played by Yvonne Stravosky, and I can't remember her actual character's name. She's the Cerberus girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I liked her.
I want to say Moira. It's not Moira.
No. Anyway, I didn't read that one, so Liara is the one I read, so that's why I know her name.
It is not Ashley. No, not Liara. Not the girl with the mask. What was her name? Tally.
Tally.
She was the person I romanced.
Oh yeah,
because I wanted to see her face, and then they had that stupid, that stupid picture that was like the model.
Yeah, there's not one on Caden because
Miranda.
Miranda Lawson.
Yeah, it was an
Unbelievable.
M. It was an M. Yeah. I was at Moira. I knew it was Moira.
Samson's Samsonite. Just look in the briefcase. Oh, it's Samsonite. Remember that Dumb and Dumber quote when he's trying to figure out Swanson? Yes. I knew it started with an S, so you just did that to me. That's all I'm saying.
It started with an M. I wasn't wrong. Suck it.
Yeah, I think a lot of these Mass Effect books are pretty cool. And I love the art. I love the ships.
Would you read it without being a Mass Effect fan? Like, do you think anybody could get into it?
You would have a hard time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't like Mass Effect, don't read this.
It's a good story, but you wouldn't know who Liara is. They don't explain it. They don't take the time to explain her.
Which is good. So
it just gets you into a story.
That works.
Yeah. How about I got another one here, and I know you like.
Oh, okay, you're doing 2 in a row.
Yeah, let's just. Is it okay?
No, it's not okay. No, it's fine. Go ahead.
You like The Witcher.
I do like The Witcher. Toss a coin to Witcher.
Toss a coin, which just came out. I
got the link. I got the link you sent me.
Okay.
Because I was scrolling after watching that show, man. I was like, so the weirdest thing with that show. I know we're jumping a little bit off the place, but we're talking about The Witcher, so fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Just listen to that.
Yeah, guys.
When I was watching the show, I watched the first episode. I was like,
yeah,
whatever. And then I watched the second one. I was like, and then I watched the third. I was like, I was watching the third episode. Do I like this? I'm like, well, I can't get enough of it. So clearly I do. So I was like, fuck, I like it. And then once I accepted I liked it, I was just like, unabashedly just into it.
The biggest problem with that whole series is the director wanted to really
make it weird
and confusing.
I didn't mind that. I didn't mind the timelines. I got into it. It was different. Henry Cavill did a fantastic job. I don't think he looks like Geralt very much, and his wig sucked.
Yeah.
But he did a great job as the character, and I'm like, you're in. Like, you just do Geralt the rest of the way. I'm down. It's fine. I'm over the butt chin. Doesn't bother me anymore because he plays him so well, right? Toss a coin to Witcher.
Toss a coin to Witcher is
that
the best thing for that whole thing.
I go to work and put that on like YouTube, like an hour-long loop. And I did not care. I was like, this song is...
Valley of Plenty.
So good. It's so good. But yes, the book. I didn't read any comic books. This is another one that I didn't have on the list.
No, I went on my own.
Whippet decided to add because he's a cunt. And I want to say this for something else. But go, please.
Yeah,
please
if you don't mind, I'll just turn the mic my way right now.
Is there a lot of... Is it just an ongoing or is there a lot of miniseries? Like, what did you read?
I read this miniseries. It's just called The Witcher. The 2014 one. and I think I read the first. I think it's just 5.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of them.
This one here.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them.
That one, this is I think the first comic book that they did after the games were getting really popular.
Okay,
I think
5.
it's before Witcher 3, which is good, but it has nothing to do with
Dark Horse again.
Dark Horse again, and that was another thing I was going to notice about a lot of the video game comics.
DC Dark Horse
was doing them.
DC and Dark Horse. I'm telling you, it's like fucking. They did if the list I did a lot of the video games. The Infamous was DC.
Yeah.
You'll see as we go down the list, but there's a whole bunch of DC.
Yeah, you keep mentioning the list because I went off the list, guys, and I think I've really.
I'm really just driving home as much as I can.
Oh boy!
Because I want you to feel like shit. Dank wouldn't care, but I know you have a conscience. So
I do. I totally do.
What kills me is that you didn't say anything. You're just like, before I hit record, he's kind of like, oh, I was confused about the list. Did I just read my own, or was that what you're going to read? I was like, why didn't you say something? Why didn't you ask, Because I was confident in what I was doing, and then my confidence dropped as you were explaining the pre-show thing here about what we were doing today. I was like, oh, I'm wavering. My confidence is wavering. It's fine. Don't worry. You're good.
So, The Witcher. This guy, he's a mutant.
He's got long white hair.
He's got some swords.
He says fuck a lot.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
he fucks a lot.
Yeah, he sure does. And there's some more of that in this series. So this series, it's The Witcher. It's the 2014 Witcher. It's got the whole Hellboy art. So
really?
It's a little
kind of.
It's
jagged?
a little abstract. I don't know what. How do you feel about that? Abstract art or less detailed art, more scratchy, a little bit more quicker.
If it fits the comic, which I feel like it would. I didn't read this, but in this universe, I think it would.
It works, yes.
I'm very, very forgiving about art.
Okay.
Except for certain ones, I'll read it, I'll look at it, but if it fits the vibe,
yeah,
I'm in. It's
I think because of the setting and this takes place in a forest. The Witcher just comes upon this guy named Jacob. And he's saying to the Witcher, I'm haunted by my wife, I'm cursed, I haven't left these lands in a long time, and the Witcher he's been on a long ride going between towns. It has nothing to do with the game or the story or the books.
Yeah.
And the Witcher just sits down and starts talking to him, and then he's like, yeah, getting to know him a little bit, spends 2 days with him, and then he finally points out the fact that his wife is watching him from afar, and there she is.
The whole time?
The whole Time, and I'm like, yo, which you didn't, your cat eyes didn't, look over and be like, yo, who's that girl, though?
Yeah, who's she?
Yeah, this salmon's great and everything, but
who's she?
This heavily naked lady?
Why is she? She was naked?
Yeah, she's naked.
How did they not see, a naked,
I don't know. I noticed right away when they showed me.
Was she in the back of the art too?
No, she wasn't hidden.
Okay.
That would have been cool though.
Yeah, that'd been awesome.
That would have been really cool. One negative point off The Witcher then.
For continuity.
For continuity was brutal. And continuity.
That was good.
Was that good?
I do like my puns. That was good. No, I enjoyed that. Thank you.
No, you're very welcome. Anyway, moving on. So they're trying to get out of this forest, and they start showing a lot of these enemies that you see in the game, like drowners and leechins and the hag, and they're not afraid to drop a nip or two.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? But see, this is the abstract thing is killing me. It's can it be a little sketchy? It's a little
were the nipples extra pointy or something?
Yeah. And just not enough detail. I don't know.
Oh.
Anyway. It's a little abstract to me. I get why, but
I wanted to get a sense of weight.
Just glisten a little.
Now I gotta see this.
Yeah. So off him and Jacob go, and they end up in this house. And the whole story, just to sum it up quick, it kind of reminds me of that story where the Witcher's helping somebody, and remember that episode where the girl or this monster killed another Witcher? And he's trying to figure out who did it, and you find out it's actually the king's daughter.
Yep.
And it's that. And all of a sudden you realize who is the real monster here. And that is the huge theme for this. It's who is the real
Oh, there she is. So I'm looking at her right now.
Yeah, so I was like, what's going on?
Oh, there she is in the background. Oh yeah, that's her. She's watching from the hill.
Yo, dude, I'm enjoying this cup of joe.
Watching us from up the hill.
Yeah, and this 3 days later, sorry, I'm just showing a comic pane here. And 3 days later, he's just sitting all nonchalant. He's got his leg over his leg. They're on a camping stool, just relaxing. He just points up over his shoulder. It's like, yeah, see that naked bra behind?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just hanging out.
Yeah, she's been following me, and her titties are on, and I don't know. Yeah, but that's The Witcher. That's The Witcher in a nutshell. It's like even in the game, like these little missions where it's like, oh, there's a sound coming from over this well. It turns into like this epic scroll. And like, oh, there's just a haunted.
Oh yeah.
World down there, and you gotta do it. It's like so any little. That's what's cool about this world is that any little thread you pull ends up becoming this epic tale for the
Yeah, and it twists. The plot twists are great.
Yeah.
And for this one, Jacob actually murdered this girl. This is his wife, because or this girl that he not his wife. This girl that he adores, and she starts hooking up with this other guy. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
What's
he gonna get him killed?
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
And so
that's a common thread on this.
Kills her. She curses him, and they're stuck in this forest together. And really good story. If you want to see some good Witcher story, I thought it was really cool. It uses the some of the powers and stuff in the story. It was very effective. For me, the art works, but I prefer.
I like it. I was just glancing at it. I like it. I like it. It's a little jagged. It's not what you expect. It's a little mess. I won't say messier, but
yeah,
a little more. Yeah, just jagged. It's a little more jagged than what you're used to when you play the game. But
yeah, totally.
But yeah, very Hellboy-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite the same, but similar. Very similar. I get the comparison.
Yeah. Anyway, I give it a thumbs up. The Witcher. That's the 2014 series.
It's a seal of approval.
Yeah. 100%.
For one that wasn't on the list.
Wasn't on the list, but
God, I wanted to talk about these like other shows. It's fine. It's fine. No, I don't hate you. It's fine.
It's okay. I played some of these games you're talking about, so that's good too.
That counts. That counts for that. We're going to move on to Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider.
So there's a bunch of different series there. I read a couple here. Okay. One being from '99, which is the Tomb Raider Journeys. It's from Top Cow.
Oh, yeah?
12 issues long, Top Cow. Written by Fiona K. Avery, and there's a couple different artists on this because it was 12 issues, so they were every couple of issues there's a different arc. The first arc being her. So just get us out of the way. Lara is highly sexualized in these. Like, like my God, she's just.
How's it drawn?
I'll show you. The art's fine.
Yeah.
But she's highly sexualized. Her titties are always out.
Oh man, this is like Fathom.
Yeah, that's the art. The story itself is pretty cool. I know in the first arc, she goes on to a ghost pirate ship. Oh yeah. So she's out in the sea on her sailboat, and she meets this pirate ship, ends up being a ghost pirate ship. She goes on with them, joins up with them, and she gets stuck in their loop of, because the story of when ghosts die, they stay in this loop of never-ending loop of how they died or their unfinished business. Mm-hmm. So she gets in the ship with them, and they're in this forever loop of fighting, of getting dummied by a bigger ship that comes along beside them and just destroys them.
Yeah.
She helps them overcome that giant ship, and their curse is broken, whatever. So what's cool about this, though, is that during that tenure on the ship, she gets a gold coin from the captain, Captain Kagan.
Shilling.
Yeah, shilling. Yeah, that was good. Ends up being like from El Dorado, so the next issue she goes to El Dorado so it kind of links to that, which is really cool. The captain's guy is a guy named Kagan.
Yeah.
And throughout the 12 issues, he shows up over and over again in different roles. So it's kind of like, what's this guy's deal?
Yeah.
Like he's a pirate in this one. Another one he's a secret agent. Another one he's like part of like a group. So it's like, what is his deal? Right?
I hope it's not going where I think it's going.
No, I don't. I'm not gonna say where it ends.
Oh, okay.
What's I'm talking about? Like, look at this outfit.
What's wrong with it?
It's nothing.
It's missing buttons.
It's fantastic. Yeah, it's missing. It has no. But look at that V. That's a deep. She's a deep V down to her belly button.
Holy moly!
With nothing.
She's ready for some swashbuckling action.
But this is actually better than that because the art's fun, like cool.
What the heck are they using? Napalm?
Yeah. So her whole plan to take that ship down is that she slow down the vessel, take the pirate flag down. And they won't know who you are. They'll come and check you out to see if you're injured.
Oh.
And when they pull up next to you, let them have it.
Oh, really?
That was her. These guys are in an endless loop of dying to this bigger ship, and they never thought of taking the flag down. It's like, I'm not taking my pirate flag down. Even say, she's like, just trust me. And that's what they do. They blow. And that's how she wins. That's how she wins the day.
And was this 99?
This is 99.
Okay.
This is the Top Cow version. There's another version from 2014. There's a whole bunch of different ones, but the 2014 one I read.
Dark Horse again.
Yeah, this is Dark Horse now.
Mm-hmm.
Again. This one went longer, 18 issues. It was written by Gail Simone and Rhianna Pratchett on the art. This one I actually did read, because it came out in 2014, that's when we were frequently going to the comic shop. And this is the rebooted games, right?
Yes, okay.
For the PS3.
The more grittier version.
Yeah.
2013 was the new reboot with Square Enix heading it.
Yeah, it straddled PS3 and PS4, right?
Yeah.
The first few issues of the 2014 one, I think the whole run of the 2014 one is in between the two first games.
Yeah.
And it's as similar as like Infamous and Mercenaries. They just kind of flesh out what happens in between them with some new mythology and some new relationships and some new character development. That's about it. If you don't need the beauty about this one is I don't think you need to play the games to get this.
Yeah.
Sure, there's some new characters that are from the game. Big deal. It's Tomb Raider.
It's Indiana Jones.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's the same sort of thing. So that's the benefit here is if you want to pick up a Tomb Raider book, you don't need to know what happens in the games. They'll fill it in for you, and it's not that important. It's not like Infamous where you're learning about all these new terms.
Yeah.
And new world laws. It's just kind of Indiana Jones with boobs.
Yeah. There we go.
And they go, and she's
Faulty
not
clothing.
She's not nearly as sexualized in the 2014 one as she was in the 9, which is.
Well, in the reboot, that was like their biggest plan, I think, especially since.
Can we make her normal? Like,
can we make her more proportional?
Yeah. The big cone titties just aren't doing it for me.
Anyway.
But it's fine. No, it's fine. I want to move on to Ratchet and Clank.
Okay, cool.
This is a great read.
Okay.
This is a great read. This is one of my favorite, surprisingly one of my favorites out of this list that we have written.
Yep. How'd you like the game?
The game, the new one?
Yeah.
I loved it.
Okay, cool.
I had a lot of fun. That's the reboot of the original one,
Yep.
but with new, it was kind of a So I was never a big Ratchet and Clank fan. Or not because I didn't like it, just because I didn't play much when I had my PS2. So the PS2 games, I know there's a bunch of them. Mm-hmm. I didn't read them all. I didn't play them all. Mm-hmm. I wasn't crazy into them. Excuse me, for whatever reason. I have no reason not to. I never played them, so I didn't like it.
Yeah, no.
The art in the book is really cool.
Yeah.
I thought it fit really well. I remember I was reading around about it. Some people didn't like it. I think they thought Ratchet looked a little too
storybook time.
Yeah, a little too edgy.
Yeah,
not edgy. A little too. I don't know what the term you would use, but
it looks like it looks like a children's book, like
kind of
like just like the
works.
colors and the pencils.
Clank looks perfect.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, Clank does look good. It's more Ratchet.
The one book is it's only one book, 6 issues.
Yep.
DC.
Yep.
Comic.
Here we go.
From 2010, written by TJ Fixman and drawn by Adam Archer.
Yep.
The story's really fun. It takes place between A Crack of Time and All for One. So that was like the third and fourth game.
Third and fourth, yeah.
It's like I said, you don't need to be a fan of the series to read this and enjoy it. If you are, there's probably a bonus because you can see the tone carries over very well. If you aren't, it's still a fun read. The basic idea is that planets are disappearing and President Quark. So Quark's president now, which is funny.
He's awesome.
Did you like Ratchet? I haven't even talked to you about this.
Yeah, I like Ratchet and Clank a lot.
Okay, sweet.
I played the reboot first, so I've only really dabbled in that, and me and my son watched the movie together.
How's the movie?
The movie's great.
Is it? Okay.
It's basically the cutscenes of the game.
Okay, I was gonna say it's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
The game came out with them. Didn't it come alongside the movie?
It did, yeah.
Okay.
And I like Ratchet and Clank as characters. Like they're just like.
You read this?
Yeah.
You'll like this.
Yeah.
It's 6 inches long, but yeah, president. So Quark's a president, and planets are disappearing. So he comes to Ratchet and Clank to kind of get their help for finding out how that's happening. He's turned down, but their planet, because Ratchet's like, I can't do this anymore. Like he's kind of like out of it. He's like, I don't want to do this. Like, I want to just live a normal life. Settle down and kind of just fix cars. Their planet gets taken while they're on it, so it's like okay. so they get into it, right? There's a new villain called Artemis Zog.
Oh yeah.
And he's the one stealing the planets. And there was a relationship between him and Quark. And there's beef there, and they go back into finding out what the problem is there and how he's stealing planets and how Quark is connected, because he is connected.
Yeah.
To the whole plot. Of course he is. And there's a lot of explosions. The action's high. The action's great. This book's a lot of fun, and it's cohesive. It makes sense.
And also, it's characters that are new to comic books. And, Ratchet and Clank, it's a Sony property. It's not a superhero.
Yeah.
It's not a... I love books that are like, I don't know much about these guys, and, like The Wake. When you sent me The Wake, it's this is refreshing. And sometimes these books are refreshing to get away from things you haven't seen. And
I'm a big fan of limited series. I love the ongoing book too, but I love limited series, 4 issues, 5, 6 issues. That's it.
Yeah.
Read it. It's nice and contained. It's one thing, especially if it's new characters.
Yeah.
Fuck, this is really cool. Who else? Then you can kind of get onto where you can latch onto where the characters come from. You can latch onto how the writer. Oh, what writer is this? Oh, he does this too, and you kind of branch out like that, right?
Yeah.
I love my limited series because they're just, they aren't committal.
Yeah.
You don't need to collect it for 3 years. You collect it for 6 months, and you're good. And it's once a month, right?
Yeah.
But the action's really good. The story's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The art there looks really cool. It's fun.
This is good.
This is a good read. It's fun. The humor's very so. It's either or it's hilarious.
Yeah.
There's actually really funny parts. There's a prison break scene which is hilarious.
Yeah.
There's old enemies from the PS2 games.
Okay.
Right. So those who even
long-time fans.
Yeah, long-time fans. Not even me. Because like I said, I didn't play much of the PS2 games. Will love that. It's a good book. It's the only Ratchet Clank book out there as far as I know. So I say give that.
Give it a go.
Give it a go.
Nice.
Moving on to. Is that doing a big one?
Yeah.
How many have we done? We're probably most of the way through here. Yeah, but I'm jumping all over the place.
Okay.
I know the list is right there. I'm looking at the list going, how many have we done?
Can I point at the list for you?
I'm not going in order. He just pointed. I'm like, how many have we done? He points.
I just want to do this one. That's all I was thinking.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll let you do your thing then.
When I say big one, I wrote this list not knowing exactly how. I don't think I'd read many of these. I've only read a couple of them before doing this list. So we're doing the research for this now, or the past few weeks.
Mm.
I didn't know Sonic the Hedgehog was as big of a deal in comic form. Now, I have a pass with him because our first family system was Sega Genesis, and we had all the Sonic games on it, and I've always loved him, but I never really thought of branching out to the comics. When I looked into how many comics this motherfucker has, good God.
It was staggering.
When
you told me, and I looked at this, I was like, oh, okay, I don't know where to start. I picked a random series.
Yeah, so there's a lot of series. There's 2 main series. Well, there's one main series that started in 93. Archie Comics printed it. And it ran...
this explains so much about what I read.
Yeah, and it ran 290 issues. Not including spin-offs.
Wow.
Archie Comics. Multiple different writers. Ian Flynn is known as the best of the bunch.
Yeah.
Because he did the majority of the best plots. Archie Comics ended up canning it after 290 because the CEO said it wasn't Archie enough. I'm paraphrasing, but I remember I was doing my research. He was kind of like, "This doesn't really fit with our." So they dropped it.
There's not enough Betty and Veronica.
I guess so. Yeah. So they dropped it, and IDW picked it up.
Oh, okay.
In 2018, and that's still going. I read the first issue of that. I actually might read along with that one.
Really?
I might. There's about 20-something issues in. But the first one was kind of like, this is kind of cool. I get...
Is it a reboot?
Soft reboot.
Okay.
So there's a whole bunch of characters that are in the Archie run.
Yeah.
The extended family that they can't use due to copyright styles because there was one...
Jughead.
No. I'm talking about Scourge.
Oh, actually. Yeah. Sorry.
Have you ever seen the Green Sonic? I don't know if you've seen him. He's Sonic's clone.
Yes.
His name's Scourge.
Okay.
So they can't use him because he was penned by a different writer who's now he's basically cock blocking them. No, you can't use my guys.
Why? Doesn't it just make your guy more famous?
Yeah, but to be fair, yes, it does. But to be fair, I don't mind it because if you look at some of these issues from the Archie comics,
okay,
there's their Freedom Fighters team is fucking huge, and I don't know 2/3 of the people. I know Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy Rose. And then it kind of stops there, and there's like all
Shadow?
the guys. Shadow's but he's not part of the team, right? He's a bad guy, isn't he?
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. But I'm saying there's so many other people. If you pull up a random issue and look, you'd be like who the fuck is this, and who is that, and who is this, and like there's.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Do you know who Rotor is? Because he's an original freedom fighter. He's a walrus. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
I want to know.
Yeah. 29 issues. So what? How many? You read something different.
I read Sonic Universe.
Sonic Universe.
And I was like, okay, where do you start on this? Well, let's start on the whole universe. And that was RG Comics. It absolutely was. The art, the cartoon, what they were talking about. I was laughing. I was like, this is so bad. No, it was so bad.
Bad.
I couldn't get through many of those issues. And I'm like, I don't know what else to go through here. I know about Sonic X. That's like a very popular cartoon right now in the whole series. I know about Sonic Boom, which is
Sonic
like
Adventures. You said?
No, Sonic Universe.
Okay, keep talking.
And I started reading. Like, it was the first issue I opened up, and that looks really cool. The cover of it looked awesome. Had Metal or Mecha Sonic, and it had Shadow.
Issues.
And I went right to the beginning, and I was like, okay, I'll try reading this. And I really couldn't get through it. I had to stop. I was getting mad. I was like, what is this? And then when you said Archie, I was like, oh, okay, because it doesn't sit well. It doesn't read well. It just seems like the art is like so weird.
Oh, yeah,
it looks like a kid made it.
Yeah.
No offense.
This is what I'm talking about. Look at these kids. Do you know who the fuck any of these guys are?
That's Shadow.
Well, I know that.
And that's Raccoon Mario. No, I don't know any of these characters, and that's why I was trying to give it a shot, and I was reading, and I was like, oh boy, I'm not, like the koala bear mailman guy, I was so concerned about what was happening. So I wasn't into the Sonic Universe thing.
Okay, so I read a bunch of the 93 series, the original series.
Yeah.
So I read a bunch of issues. I don't know if I'm going to talk about all of them, but I read issue, I read issue 1, obviously. I read issue 1, where's my notes here? 131, 160, and 175, and then I read the first issue of the 2018 series. So
Nice.
I read a whole bunch, and I kind of got a gist of what it was all going through, or what it was all going for. Number one, the first issue is really, really 93-ish. It's really hokey.
Oh, really?
Like, I will say this: there are puns galore, so I appreciate that.
Okay.
I think those got me through it. It's very lighthearted, but Robotnik creates a robotic plant. Sorry, his henchman creates a robotic plant.
Yeah.
And then he kills the henchman and takes credit for it. Like, this is my robot plant. And he plants it in the forest where the freedom fighters live.
Yeah.
Sonic and the freedom fighters. And and this plant is growing and like attacking them.
Yeah.
In their forest. And they accidentally learn that water kills it.
Okay.
So they go, okay, water kills it. What do we got to do? Because this plant, it's got like it's almost like Piranha Pete type.
Yeah. I was just thinking that. That's all I was picturing. Was, this is just Piranha Pete.
It's kind of like a whole bunch of Piranha Petes.
Okay.
And they go, how are we gonna beat this? It's like there's so much of it. It's like, oh, just in time. Here comes a thunderstorm. The end.
How about the anti-shark spray, Batman?
Oh yeah, it was.
Oh.
They just let it. They just
woof.
They just let the thunderstorm roll, which I appreciate that. Simple. Issue 31 is a little bit more story driven, where Sally hops a train to try and disable Robotnik's newest WMD.
Okay.
And is met with Jeff. This is actually pretty funny, actually. Jeffrey St. John, who's a skunk, who she had a romance with. Like in previous issues, and Sonic thinks that because Sonic and Sally have his thing,
okay,
and he thinks that she's just using him to get him
what
jealous.
Animal is Sally?
She's a fox. No, that's Fiona's a fox. But she thinks that Sonic believes that Sally.
Oh, I remember Sally. Okay.
Yeah, she's
Sally. She's a squirrel.
Yes.
Sally Acorn.
Right. Thank you.
Oh, she's got a sweet little Psylocke knife.
She didn't have that in this issue.
Oh, okay.
She just had a little jacket.
I can see why. Okay.
Actually, Whippet. It is known that, or is believed that Sonic's main crush is Amy Rose.
Oh, okay.
Okay, the pink one.
Yeah. The bat?
No, that's...
Oh,
that's
other...
Rouge. That's Rouge.
Rouge.
How do I know all these?
Rouge the bat!
This is weird that I know everything now. Rouge is the bat.
Yeah.
I hate that you brought that up, but I knew.
You're welcome. Okay, yeah, absolutely.
That Sonic's supposed to be made, but then he's with...
So this is Betty.
Sonic's been around, let's be honest here.
Good for him. You think Knuckles is the real bad boy?
Knuckles ain't got shit on Sonic. Also, Tails is a whip.
Oh, 100%.
I didn't know that.
And then
Anyway, issue 31, way less puns than the first issue and more focus on story, but it's still lighthearted and playful. There's a Knuckles backstory that starts there, because all these issues have like 3 stories in them.
Okay.
Up to here during this writing. When I jumped to 160, that's when Ian Flynn took over for this book.
Okay.
And it's Sonic's birthday, and he's celebrating with his current girlfriend, who's Fiona the Fox.
Yeah.
And the Freedom Fighters, when they are attacked by some new characters. And that's where Evil Sonic officially becomes Scourge, because he was just Evil Sonic.
Okay.
He was just Sonic with a jacket.
Yeah.
But then he became Green Sonic with a jacket. And he changed his name to Scourge.
And this is the character that they can't use no more.
One of them, yeah. The Freedom Fighters they can't use anymore either.
Really?
They can't use that term Freedom Fighters. It's just Sonic and Tails, more or less.
You didn't develop the word Freedom Fighters.
You tell him that. That's all I'm saying.
I just did.
Number 175.
Yeah.
After that, I know I'm jumping all over the place, but just bear with me.
No worries.
Everything is honky. This is where it takes a dark turn. Everything's honky dory until Dr. Eggman shows up and his nephew Snively.
Yeah.
And they attack the Freedom Fighters base, and they vaporize everybody except for Sonic.
Oh.
Sonic, Amy, Tails, and Knuckles. They vaporize them all.
Well, what are they gonna do?
They're gonna what they did is they basically teleported them to this area in Dr. Eggman's lab.
Yeah.
Where he crushes them. And
what?
He doesn't actually do it, but he talks about he's going to crush them and basically implode them into energy for his machine.
Okay, that's dark.
I was like, wow.
Whoa. He's using the Luigi's vacuum.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah.
From Luigi's
but they show up and they destroy the Freedom Fighters base, and Sonic's like, I gotta go check on Knothole, the town.
Okay.
And he comes up and it's just all aflame. And he fights Dr. Eggman in this suit, and Eggman just wipes the floor with him. Yeah. And he's like, I'm keeping you alive so that you're always remembered of this humility and shame you're feeling today.
Whoa.
I was like, this took a turn from when they were,
Someone's going to need a cold shower after that.
From robotic plants.
Yeah.
This took a turn.
Yeah, that grew up a bit.
But that's pretty much known. I think 175 is known as one of the peak issues of the whole run.
What I remember from Sonic is the whole idea of the Dragon Balls, but are they the diamonds, the Chaos Diamonds?
Chaos Emeralds.
Have they gone through issues like that?
Yeah, so Scourge becomes green because he's on one of the emeralds.
Okay.
One of the emeralds changes him into Scourge, or into the green, and gives him more power. So they're present. I only read 4 or 5 issues randomly.
Yeah, no worries, no. Because Sonic Adventure 2 was my favorite Sonic game that I ever played. And the whole thing was you're gathering with Shadow and Rogue the Bat, and you're gathering. Yeah. Well, she was kind of cool, whatever.
Yeah, okay.
And so at the end of the game, you're fighting this big reptile thing called the Final Hazard, and he's on the side of this big space station that's crashing down to the planet that they live on, and they use all the diamonds like Dragon Ball Z. And then they turn gold and Shadow turns silver. So you got gold Sonic and silver Shadow. And then you're fighting. Super Sonic, yeah. Super Sonic and Hyper Shadow.
He was in the Sonic and Tails game, right?
Oh,
Super Sonic. He was Super Sonic, yeah.
Anyway.
He's Super Saiyan, basically.
That's the ultimate to me. That's pretty cool. But it was I just can't shake the whole Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't think of that connection. That's actually.
Yeah. I liked it.
But no, so IDW picked it up. Yeah. I might actually jump in and see how long it can last, because it's there's a charm to it.
Yeah,
there's a charm to it. I don't know. Kind of like my next one I want to talk about was Mega Man.
Okay.
Same idea. They're 55 issues into the main run of Mega Man.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see where it goes, because
really
once again, was
he a robot or was he a human?
He's always a robot.
Okay, he was always a robot.
Dr. Light built him, and so Dr. Light built Rock and Roll.
Okay.
Right? Roll's the girl, Rock's the boy.
Right.
That's why his name is Rockman.
Yeah.
And Rock. So when he built those two kids, he became their father.
Yeah.
And Dr. Wily, who's Dr. Light's compatriot or lab partner.
Yeah.
He's like the evil one. Dr. Light's the good one. He creates these kids. Dr. Light then creates these other guys like Cutman. Actually, I'm gonna read the first issue too.
Yeah, go for it.
There's Cutman, Gutsman, Iceman, Bombman, all these Electman. They have these, and they all have different things. And he built them in turn for. So Cutman was going to oversee forestry management, whereas like Bombman was for demolition of excavation practices, Fireman for waste reduction, Electman for power management, things like that.
Yeah.
So he creates all these robots to help him
with the infrastructure.
Yeah, because he used to build weapons, and he kind of was like, no, this is not. He almost did like a Tony Stark thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna go kill a robot.
Yeah, he used to do that, but then he's like, no, I'm not doing this. But Dr. Wily still wants to make them killer robots, but he's not the lead scientist.
Got it.
So he ends up hijacking. Dr. Light's robots and turning them with like evil chips.
Okay.
And they become evil.
Yeah.
So in order to go fight them, he turns Rock into Mega Man.
Awesome.
Equips him with like the best armor he can build, the best gun he can build. So no, there was never a human.
I'm totally into this series already.
I was like, this is kind of cool. And there's one really, really fucking funny part in the early issues of the run. I haven't even talked. So the original run was from Dreamwave in 2003. I didn't read any of that. It was only 4 issues long. I read the Archie version.
Okay.
Which is from 2011.
Archie did another one?
Yeah. And it's Ian Flynn, the same guy who was writing Sonic. The good ones.
Okay.
Right?
Gave him the keys to 2 very big Cadillacs, my friend.
Yeah. 55. This is 55 issues into it. Ian Flynn's writing it. And there's one part where he's when Mega Man's going down to hunt these robots down and to kill them, he's kind of feeling sad because he's not a violent guy.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't like doing this, but you kind of have to. So there's that personal struggle that he's going through, and rolls on the telecom with him like, it's okay, like you can, you're fine, you can get through this. And this is after he's killed or he's taken a couple, and he gets to Cutman, and Cutman's just saying cut puns. The whole time they're fighting, so it's like this juxtaposition of her like encouraging
Mega Man. That.
Mega Man's like, oh come on, like she's like just stick to yourself, be strong with that, and he's kind of like, I'm the cutting edge of what it's like. Oh, you'll like dodge a thing, like you cut that a little close, like. So I'm enjoying that because it's so stupid.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like, I'm gonna keep reading this, I think.
Okay.
But it's also Mega Man's got a lot of different books out there as well. Are you ever big into the games?
No, I played a little bit. They were hard.
Yes, they are.
Yes. Yeah, but I played like the originals.
Did you play so I got the collection, the Mega Man Legacy collection, the first one.
Yeah.
And the Mega Man X collection as well.
Okay. I haven't touched any of the X stuff. Yeah.
I kind of dabbled in the X stuff. The first one, I'm like, fuck, man, this is so fun, but it's so fucking hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't have the patience for this shit right now. I always play like late at night. And I'm like,
oh yeah, that's hard to play a skillful game.
But it's fun. It's cool. I kind of want to get into lore because I like I think the bosses are cool, like the Cutman and the.
I had no idea that he built them for the infrastructure of their place, right? Like the Electric Man is the power.
It was actually for the betterment. It wasn't just his place. It was the betterment of like the world.
Wow.
Like they were supposed to be, for that.
Yeah.
Like
that's cool.
And then Dr. Wily is like, no, I'm making them evil. See, Twiddle. He actually has a big mustache too. It's hokey, but
it's the 2011 series you're reading.
This is the 2011 one, yeah.
Okay.
From Archie.
Nice.
There's a couple different. It's not nearly as vast as,
Sonic.
Sonic, god damn, was Sonic big? This is the 20. There's a crossover. There's a Sonic and Mega Man crossover.
Cool.
That I want to check out.
Nice. Yeah, I would.
That's interesting.
As long as it's not like taken from the pages of Archie comics. That was my thing with Sonic Universe.
What do you mean?
Like it was Archie, but it was like so Archie.
Oh,
I couldn't get over how Archie was, and I was like, this is like Reader Digest of comics.
Yeah. I see. I think that's why. The later Sonic issues I was talking about, like 175 and stuff. Like, that's not very Archie, and that's probably why the CEO was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah. Stop liquefying all the characters, please.
Yeah.
Stop burning them or whatever.
Yeah.
Crushing them. That's cool.
Don't turn them into fuel, please. I'm sure there's Mega Man manga too, though, which I don't know much about.
Yeah.
But there is.
Cool.
Of course there is.
You know when they do the.
Oh, that bit. Yeah.
Hold on
Fucking
right.
rock man. Okay, what do we have left? Oh, Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
DC property again.
Really?
Yeah. So how long we got? So Infamous is DC.
Yeah. Sonic, Archie.
No, that was Dark Horse. Ratchet and Clank is DC. Mortal Kombat is DC.
I'm surprised DC
Ratchet
did
and Clank.
Clank.
Yeah.
That's a big shock.
It was
to me.
good. I'm telling you. I'm not even saying just for the show. Like, read it. Yeah, I think you'll find it entertaining. It.
Yeah.
I was like, this is quite good. I wish I wasn't rushing through this right now.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat. Okay. Whew. There's a lot of issues. There's a lot of series of this as well, and there's two that I read a bit of. The '98 version, written by Charles Marshall from Malibu in that Malibu print. Charles Marshall and Scott Seva. Garbage. Don't read it. It's confusing. It's
like
characters.
Mortal Kombat Annihilation garbage or Mortal Kombat 1?
Mortal Kombat 1 is a guilty pleasure.
Okay, good.
Because I hate video game movies. I think they're terrible.
Okay.
Overall, I think that's the best of the lot.
Mortal Kombat?
The first Mortal Kombat movie.
Okay.
Name a better video game movie. And don't you fucking say Prince of Persia. Because I know you're going to say that.
It was on there.
Yeah, I knew it. Resident Evil. You're looking at movies, right? You have a movie list.
I have a movie list.
Resident Evil is a guilty pleasure as well.
Yeah, I think
there aren't good movies.
No, but they're fun.
Okay, fair enough. Ratchet and Clank movie I haven't seen.
I actually love the Warcraft movie.
I haven't seen it.
It's actually really good.
Need for Speed you put on there?
Okay, hang on here. Hang on here.
Street Fighter?
Street Fighter I actually like. That was a guilty pleasure of mine.
Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Jean-Claude Van Damme's Guile.
You know what's funny?
It's so bad, and Bison is so bad too. But...
So Dank and I are going to bottle cap that one.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were going to before this episode, but he fucked off.
It's a terrible movie. But when I was a kid watching it, I just couldn't. Even like the boat scene, like why are they racing through the river? I'm just like, I was having a blast, and I would watch it anytime it was on TV. Street Fighter, I'm watching it.
That's funny. And you know that Ming-Na Wen?
Yes.
Is in that too, which I didn't realize. The voice of Mulan and from Agents of
S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
I have to rewatch that. Who's she?
What's her name with the hair?
Chun-Li?
Yes, it's Chun-Li.
Oh my goodness. Okay, dude, that went up even higher.
Okay, so one thing I wanted to before you.
Yes. We'll just
Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. For you, because that's the defining one. Because we were born in the '80s, so it's like when you come up in the '90s, you gotta choose a side.
I'm a Street Fighter guy.
See, I'm a Mortal Kombat guy. I've always been a Mortal Kombat.
Well, Mortal Kombat's way darker than Street Fighter.
It is, and it's slower.
Yeah.
And it's more like Street Fighter always gave me like seizures. Like it was like they'll jump like there's like when you jumped in the air, there's a screen moved up with you. I couldn't handle that. I was like, I can't do this.
You know, that's true.
I can't do that. Mortal Kombat was more static, and it was more. I don't want to say you have to be because there's combos in both of them, but I don't know. It was just. I don't know. I always liked the Mortal Kombat aesthetic and characters better.
I think if we're looking at it as the games aside, the games, I think the Mortal Kombat game is better. I agree with you.
Yeah?
The button mashing with because I think where they've gone with it, like Injustice even is using the Mortal Kombat engine. Yeah. I think right now, I think they've got a better product right now. I know Street Fighter is huge for the championship, the esports stuff that Street Fighter's huge for all of that because the combos are so fast.
And it's bright and colorful.
But as a universe, I think I like the Street Fighter one more.
Yeah, sorry.
Just out of the fighting tournament whole thing, and I like the idea of Ryu, Ken, and I like the whole shadow organization that Bison runs. And Mortal Kombat, I get it, but I don't get it.
It's so dense. It's okay. Let me talk about.
Okay, go dive into Mortal Kombat now.
Okay, so I don't want to talk about. Actually, I do want to talk about the 98 version because there's some pretty good lines there. Yeah, all these characters are rushed together to bring to Outworld to fight. Mm-hmm. The art's ugly, the writing's hokey. There's a magic book that comes into play, and the combatants fight over it.
Okay.
There's some characters that I didn't realize. I recognize like Hydro, and it doesn't matter who they are.
Who?
Hydro. It was like this
Hydro
counterpart.
Man?
No, yeah, it was a counterpart to Sub-Zero. I was like, who the fuck is this?
Okay. There's a lot of those ninja guys, eh? There's like a green, yellow, red, blue. There's all sorts.
Well, I know who they all are, but it's
that's cool.
But Hydra didn't know. But yeah, no, Sub-Zero's blue, Scorpion's yellow.
Yeah.
Ermac is
Venom or
Ermac
Viper?
Reptile.
Reptile. Stupid.
Ermac is supposed to be the red one.
Yeah, yeah.
Then there's the androids. There's Noob and Smoke.
Yeah. Hydro.
There's a one pun in here that Johnny Cage says lights, camera, traction, and I thought that was funny. Throw that down. Yeah, fuck that series.
Not good.
No,
that
Mortal Kombat X, which is printed by DC Comics.
Okay.
2015.
And this is the reboot now too of the games.
Yes,
I believe,
this
right?
this is for the games. Yeah, 36 issues.
Wow.
And that's the first volume. There's other volumes of it. Mortal Kombat's got a storied comic book history. Do I want to say history? I guess history's the right word. Lore. Yeah, there's a lot of comic books, and this book is fun but dumb.
Okay.
So,
like plot wise, or just like
story stupid.
Okay.
So it's just stupid. Like I find that because what you're saying about the whole Shadow organization, you're probably right. Street Fighter is better in that sense. Mortal Kombat's been around for so long, and they just keep compounding shit onto shit, and it's just like there's all these dimensions and there's all these fucking different characters, and every time you think you beat the ultimate guy, there's another ultimate guy,
right.
And it's like because he used to be Shang Tsung, then it was Shao Kahn. Right.
Wasn't Goro big too?
Goro's big, but he
was the henchman of.
Yeah, so it's okay. So fair enough. So there's Goro, and there's Shang Tsung.
Yeah.
And there's Shao Kahn. And there's fucking like Quan Chi.
Yeah.
And there's like in this one there's a Chinook, right? And then there's like the Mentor. I can't remember the Centaur guy, and it's like fuck. Okay, like does this ever end?
Yeah.
Anyways. Kenshi learns, so Kenshi's the blind guy. I don't know how much you know about Mortal Kombat. Kenshi's blind.
Yeah.
He learns that he has a son named Takeda. And he takes him to Scorpion's training area because Scorpion's a good guy in this. This is after he's beaten his Scorpion persona.
Yeah,
he's basically Ghost Rider.
Right.
Scorpion Shira Ryu training grounds to raise him, and it gets weird. Like I'm gonna read my notes, but they're not gonna make sense.
Okay.
His sparring partner Fox.
Don't understand.
Yeah. Takeda's sparring partner Fox. Is like his buddy.
Yeah.
He hears voices in his head, and Raiden tells Scorpion that a demon from another realm was coming to disarm Earth's champions.
Okay.
Cassie Cage, who's the daughter of Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade.
Right.
She's like a big part of this story. You don't find out until later on. There's a guy named Kotal Khan and his generals who meet with Sonya to try and get on their side. This is confusing. So basically, a whole bunch of powerful people got together and locked up this guy named Chinook.
Yeah.
In this thing. So he's locked up. Just think of him being locked up in this
gobbledygook.
In this place.
Yeah.
They locked that place with several different daggers.
Okay. So like a realm. He's stuck in a realm and he's sealed in this area.
With all these different daggers.
Okay.
And there's probably about, I don't know, like a little 8 or 9 different daggers. And these daggers also work as keys to unlock Chinook if you gather them all. And then they disperse the daggers about. They gave it to Raiden to disperse. So he left one with Scorpion, and like they're all accounted for except for one that Sub-Zero stole.
Okay.
These daggers are possessed. So if you have one of these daggers, if you hold it, or if you get cut by it, you become the spirit of Chinook like possesses you, and you become like almighty. And basically, people are trying to. Some sort of demon is trying to collect these daggers. Cassie Cage is at the center of it. Scorpion, his whole training grounds gets eradicated, and he's like on his revenge quest because he likes Kenshi. There's a lot of backstory and bullshit and things that tie together, and you don't really need to know it because the action is so fun.
Okay. Yeah, you just want to get to the whole thing. Yeah.
So I said a lot there
that
you can probably just ignore. It's very bloody. Like, look at my last note. It's super bloody and action-packed.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
That's all you need to know.
I read, just this morning, the first trade. Like, I read a whole trade paperback of it.
Jeez.
Because I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah,
like, I was like,
wanted to go right
I don't know what's going on, really.
Yeah.
Why do they have daggers? Where are the other 6 daggers? I don't know. There's a flashback of Sub-Zero and Kano fighting over a dagger, and then you never see them again. It's like, okay, well, I don't know what just happened with that. Yeah. But then you see Kano again, he's fighting Movado, and it's like, okay. So I guess there he is now, and he's after Cassie. Why is everybody after Cassie? I don't know. It's going to come out later. I don't know. It's weird.
That's the part that is, and it's also the realms.
Yeah,
I find the realms is very confusing because it's like Earth champions and then all the realms and where do people live and
just know that there's Earth realm.
Yeah,
and there's Outworld.
Outworld. Okay, that's what it is.
That's so Earthrealm, Outworld, and then there's like other nether realms that take part, like Kotal Khans from a different one.
Yeah.
Don't try to understand too much of it because it's really fucking weird. Because
Yeah.
there's like betrayals and like clones and people being possessed and
Wow.
emperors and read it for the action because the it's very bloody, very action packed. Excuse me, I drink my beer. And it was fun. I had a good time.
Cool.
I enjoyed it. I don't know what I read.
Did you ever watch the Street Fighter 2 manga movie?
No.
Okay. You need to watch that because I think that would like transform you into a bigger Street Fighter fan.
Okay.
Because it goes through.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I like it.
Oh yeah, that looks. Oh yeah, the art's awesome.
The art's really cool. Yeah, so I'm just showing him panels of Mortal Kombat X.
It just dies.
That's Cassie, right?
Yeah.
Just in a cage, and then these guys show up and like their arms get cut. Like it's.
Oh, they don't pull punches.
No, it's gross. Like one guy gets split up the middle, and it just like.
Oh, nasty, gnarly.
Yeah.
I was kind of mixing gnarly and nasty.
I heard that. I understood what you're going for. I didn't want to say anything because it was embarrassing.
Yeah,
for you.
yeah. No,
it was weird.
We can sit and marinate it a little bit.
No, I don't know. I want you to soak it in and realize how dumb that sounds.
Yeah.
But anyways, go ahead. I think, but it was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. There's only one more book on this list.
Yep.
And that's the Resident Evil book.
Okay.
I read this as well. There is one, DC printed it from 2009.
Okay.
I didn't read that, but I read the 98 one from Image. Image is finally on here. I'm surprised that Image isn't on here more with these, or IDW, because IDW takes a lot of properties from cartoons and stuff, like Transformers and G.I. Joe and shit. I'm surprised they're not on here almost at all, except they pick up the Sonic one, but still, it's, I don't know, a lot of Archie. A lot of Dark Horse. It's basically Dark Horse, DC, and Archie.
Yeah. That's weird, eh?
Yeah, DC, like, I didn't know that. Anyways.
Dark Horse, too, it's like, they always do, like, the fantasy and sci-fi stuff really
I expect them to grab the Tomb Raiders and stuff. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
The Resident Evil one, it's like I said, 98. It's only 5 issues long. Written by Chris Aprisco.
Who's the main hero?
Jim Lee. Jim Lee is Martin.
No way.
Yeah. This is an anthology series, so you get them all.
Oh, really?
There's Chris Red. There's Jill Valentine. There's Chris Redfield. There's Leon Kennedy.
Yeah.
They're all in it. It's just different issues, and some of them carry over. There's about 3 stories in every book. Some of them carry over across the issues. Others don't. They're just standalones.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like just light reading.
Okay.
I say light, but it's Resident Evil, so it's gross. There is one that I thought was cool where it was told the point of view of a scientist working with the T-virus.
Yeah.
And he's doing tests on. He's writing notes to a colleague, and he's doing tests on dogs and sharks and stuff like that. And then like the T-virus breaks loose and starts infecting the lab that he's working in. So slowly he starts to get infected, obviously, and things start to go wrong. And then his notes get more and more messy. And it's like I'm being, and it's just blah, blah. And then at the end, Claire shows up.
Okay.
It's like, and goes away, and I was like, that's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah,
that was cool. So stories like that,
to it.
It's actually interesting. If you like Resident Evil, read that. Everybody knows what Resident Evil is.
Yeah.
Zombies. So you don't need to know the game to enjoy it, but it's that. I haven't read the DC version from 2009 yet.
That's the latest one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that. Because let's say I read way more for this than I thought I'd read.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you're knocking it out of the park, and then I read a lot, but just way off of the list.
Yeah, you pounded this episode. This episode shouldn't have been this long.
No.
We're now at 1 hour and 20.
I'm so sorry.
You and Sonic did this.
I apologize.
I swear we talked about Sonic for a long time.
And the Halo comics are good. That's all I'll say about that. The Halo
we didn't talk about that. Another one you added to the fucking list.
There was 2 things I want to point out. There's a story in the Halo graphic novel, and it's the Breaking Quarantine story about how Sergeant Johnson escaped the Flood. When you leave him, when you first meet the Flood in the original game,
in the library.
So you leave, but Sergeant Johnson's still there, and how he fights out of it. It's such a good comic.
Really?
That one's really good. And Boot Camp. I didn't write this down, but Boot Camp is young Master Chief training. And
do you see him without the helmet on?
You do see him without the helmet on as a kid. It's pretty cool.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
They showed it.
Dude.
They showed him?
They showed him.
Is he ugly? Or is he like really handsome?
I don't want to tell you.
Okay, don't tell me. I don't want to know.
I don't want to say that.
It's like Joker's origin. I don't want to know.
He's redhead, so whatever.
Oh, you ruined it. Is he really? Oh, fuck, I'm so mad.
And Helljumpers. Helljumpers is the ODST guys, which I think are pretty cool. They're just regular Marines that drop out of a drop pod to land into front, doing front assaults. And anyway, they've got some really cool comics. Halo's like a whole other universe. It's
it really blew up.
Yeah. See, that is one of the ones that needs a movie.
Well, I had Forward Unto Dawn.
It needs a movie.
Dude, okay.
It needs a movie. Forward Unto Dawn is good.
So I watched that and I was like, I don't know what's going on. And then the last when they showed the elites and stuff, I was like, oh, that's pretty fucking cool.
I know, right?
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, they can do it here. I want to see more of it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big proponent of video game movies, but I think that universe could work as a movie.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
I think there's so much there. Like Starship Troopers. Look at that whole movie and that is Halo without the bugs, right? Like the armor and the whole how the world is set up.
There are Dead Space comics. We're going to have to do another one of these.
Dead Space? Oh yeah.
I didn't know there was Dead Space. Oh,
Uncharted.
Man.
We didn't talk about. We didn't read.
We'll have to do this again.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll do this again because there's more.
I wanted to know if there's a Super Mario comic. I bet you there is. And I bet you it's not that great. But I'll like it.
Yep. Super Mario Adventures. Yeah, we'll do this again.
All right.
Maybe Dank will be here next time. Or maybe he'll be fucking in India, wherever the fuck he is. Who cares?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, nobody cares.
Nobody cares. What?